Hello and welcome to Magical Marker, a game of Dungeons and Dragons and Drawings. We're a bunch of cartoonists and illustrators who won't just be playing the game, but doodling what happens along the way. It's a PG-13 story of teens and tweens on their first big adventure on their own. Let's introduce our cast. Please introduce yourself, your character's name, your age, and your class. Let's start off with Boya.
Hello, my name is Boya, and I play a character whose name is Bug. He is a warlock bugbear, and he's 12 years old.
Let's bounce it over to Star Trek Extra, Caitlin.
Hi, I'm Haelon. I play Zip. She is a drow fighter, and she's 16 years old. I'm just going to put this out into the world in case anybody from Star Trek Discovery is watching. If you need an extra, I got purple hair. I'd fit right in.
She's very extra. No, she's not very extra. She's a good extra because she's not extra.
I just don't have a lot of extra time. This is the one thing that's holding me back.
I'll be working on your schedule.
Yeah.
On those casting Facebook pages.
Priscilla.
Hi, I'm Priscilla, and I am an illustrator in Los Angeles, and I play. Wait, I mixed it up with the outro. I'm Priscilla, and I play Isburil, who is a half-elf, 17-year-old bard.
And Matt.
Hello, I'm Matt. I'm an artist, illustrator, and comic creator. I play Swell, who's a 15-year-old Water Ganassi cleric who, he likes to chill. He likes to be cool and not get stressed out and stuff, like we currently are. Someone just died.
Well, we're going to get to that in a second. I'm your Dungeon Master, Brian, and I'm currently running the party's NPC companion, Sutran, a magically animated severed hand of a spellcaster from decades ago who is searching for her other hand so she can magic herself back a body. She doesn't do a lot, she doesn't talk very much, but sometimes she comes through in a clutch. The party are at a party in the abandoned mines of Thunderroot. Teens are gathered together for music and food and friendship, but it was abruptly interrupted with a swarm of skeletal rats. The teen heroes battled the itty-bitty enemies into bits while most of the regular teens ran away. Unfortunately, they ran right into miners' corpses who had come back to life as ghouls. Chased back into the main party cavern, our heroes dispatched the undead, but not before several of the partygoers had been injured and paralyzed. Isburiel went in search for other kids who might have been the ghouls' victims and found a paralyzed teen. Isburiel ripped some fabric to try and staunch his wounds, but it was too late. The light faded from the tabaxi's eyes, and he bled to death in Isburiel's arms. And on that somber note, we begin today's adventure. So, Isburiel, you just got there. There's this tabaxi. You don't even know their name. They were applauding your musical abilities maybe 15 minutes ago, 10 minutes ago, and now this party has suddenly hit a very dark note. There are other people who have run past you to some other people, and they're bandaging them and trying to heal them. And it's like, I think he's going to be okay. I got Darvon. He's going to be fine. And then, somebody else like, oh, and like they're coming out of their paralysis. It's like, oh, my side. Oh, I'm so hurt. And there are other people going around doing things, and this seems to be the only person who is dead. Nobody's really paying attention to you yet and what's happened.
He seems almost paralyzed himself as he's on his knees next to the tabaxi. His just eyes are just glued on his face, searching almost as if trying to etch every feature within his memory. And then he takes a moment and closes, run the hand over his face and closes his eyes with fingers that are just shaking. Didn't say anything.
The rest of the party, you were healing some people back in the main cavern. You saw Isburiel run off to look for other people to help. Are you guys going to follow in his footsteps, or are you going to stay and look after who's there? What's your plan?
Am I still paralyzed?
Yes.
I suppose I would just remain paralyzed
All right.
for the time being.
You're
What
You're paralyzed very close to your muscly, wanty flirt friend.
I imagine that I'm paralyzed in a very unflattering pose as well. Like I'm pulling a weird face.
Yeah. You'll have to draw that. I want to see the pose you're frozen in.
Are there a lot of people still kind of like injured and needing help?
There are people who are like injured and are unconscious and haven't been brought back, and some people like, yeah, we did it, we defeated them, we did it. Like, oh yeah, but look, they're all hurt.
Oh.
Look how many people got hurt this time. And you're looking at the group like, I remember that one of the people that got hurt last week was Glark, the lizard boy hydration expert. And was Glark who you healed or who you bandaged, Matt, with swell?
I can't remember. I know there was 2 people, and I just healed the first one that was there, and then I bandaged the second one. I stabilized them, but I cannot remember for the life of me which one was which.
All right, we'll just say Glark is one of the people who's still unconscious.
Okay, but he's stable, right? Like he's not.
He's, as far as you know, yeah, he's stable.
Can I check on him and make sure?
Sure.
Just,
You can do a medicine check.
15.
15. Yeah, it looks like he should be fine in a few hours,
Okay.
but you don't know.
If there's any of the random kids around, I'll just like grab one by the arm and say, well, actually, the one I healed should be up and ready to like go. I'll just say, keep an eye on him. He's stable, but he's still in danger. So don't do anything. Just make sure he keeps breathing and everything. I'm gonna start helping everyone else, and I'll run off and start helping people.
All right. You've got a fairly high perception.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to say that out of the corner of your eye, you noticed East Boreal down the hallway, just standing there with someone. There are other people sort of running past and talking, but you notice like she's just sort of frozen, almost like she's paralyzed as well. Or sorry, he's paralyzed as well.
Okay. I'm gonna just like kind of look around, just double take everything in, make sure there's nothing else that needs like immediate attention. Like there's no one like bleeding with guts hanging out or anything, right?
Not that you can see.
Okay.
No, nothing like that.
I'll head over to Burial.
Okay. You saw other people who had like, long scrapes down their arms from like the rat attack, the skeletal rats, and like bite marks all over their bodies, but not anything that was,
but they're up.
Immediate attention.
Yeah, but they're up and they're talking or crying or something. Okay.
Some of them may be in shock, and some of them may be crying. Some of them may be just like, "Cool, look what happened." Like there's a variety of different.
Check out my scars, man. Look, let's get a scar. Real sick. Yeah. No. Okay, I'll walk up to his burial and kind of put a hand on their shoulder and just say, "You okay?"
Fine.
Can I do anything? Also, at the same time, out of character, I want to maybe do like my passive insight is 15, but I'm happy to roll for it if you think it's better, just to see if he's actually fine. I think it's quite clear that he's not, but
he is pretty clearly not his usual self, but physically he seems to be okay.
There you go. Is that a solid enough answer for you?
Yeah.
And with your perception check, you can see that the person, the tabaxi, that he's holding or sort of propping up a bit on the ground, they probably collapsed a little bit around their knees or something, is not breathing.
Oh.
You've just
At
been
this
doing
point,
medicine.
the kid has probably been laid out straight.
Okay.
I'll just say, I don't have any spells left. I can't. Do you have anything? And
Doesn't matter.
Can I give it a medicine check to see if I can
You can do a
anything?
medicine check, sure.
That's a 13.
Okay. As you're attending the body and you're looking it over, and this person is bled out. They are pretty nastily attacked by the ghoul. So the claw that paralyzed them also mostly like had a really deep scar across the chest and got into like, you know, there's blood coming out and it was coming out fast. And as you're doing this, there's another teenager that comes across, and it's one of the lizard people, and they're like, they look over and they're like, what happened? Can you bring them back? What's going on? And they ran over and, like, you know, grab his hand. They're like, Drandrick, what's going on? Drandrick!
I'm gonna take my cloak off.
Does the god of death who spirits things away to different tombs, do they do that to everyone? Or is it just adventurers?
Just people who are gifted or of high note and regard. Sometimes they'll take like a king or a queen or a duke or a dragon or something like that. But they don't take the average person. The average person, you know, would be buried with in their own various ways. So in this town, probably with Lundariel's roots.
I'm gonna take my cloak off and
what name
lay
did
it.
he?
I'm gonna lay my
what name
cloak
did he
over the
call?
body.
Randrick.
Rendrick.
I'm sorry, what was that, Matt?
I'm sorry. I'm just gonna lay my cloak over the body.
The lizard person who came over is just like sobbing pretty uncontrollably right now, and that's attracting more people's attentions, and more people are coming over and looking what's going on, and there's just a lot of tears and breaking down and freaking out.
Uriel's gonna stand up and walk back into the cavern and deeper into the passage from whence the rats first came.
Okay. And like you're walking away, and Lara, the chameleon woman or teen who was singing alongside you, comes over like, no, this is supposed to be a party. This wasn't. And she's apoplectic about what has happened here and doesn't really know how to react to what's going on, because she was one of the organizers of this and is just feeling just completely out of sorts about what's going on here.
And she was the one that was on stage with Ace, right?
Yes.
Does she have her instrument in hand?
Not in her hand, no. But you can see it, you know, dangling from their probably belt.
Can I snatch it off her?
Do you want to do it so that she knows that you're doing it, or do you want to do it secretly?
I wanted to know.
Yeah, you can make a grab for it. Roll a d20.
Just
Give me an attack roll.
an attack roll? Well, I guess it's like a dex. No, okay, it's straight in. nearly a nat one. 15.
15. All right. You snatch it and pull it away. It's pretty firmly attached to her. Like she's got there's a chain on belt, but it's like only got like a string around that. So you pull it and you've got it. You can I'll let you if you want to have like a knife or something that you cut it with.
Oh, sure. Yeah.
Is that what you want to do with it?
Basically, I want to get it off her, and then I want to kind of wave it in her face and say, "That's twice now. Twice they've come back. What is this? What magic did you use?"
I don't know. This is just it's a flute. It's a cool flute that I was given.
You were given this flute,
Yeah.
right? Inspect it.
Is actually, is Isabella still there? Did he hear that while he was walking away?
Give me a perception check. This isn't happening too much longer after
7.
you went away. 7. I'm
7.
going to say that you did not. You
Okay.
don't really hear.
My voice was raised. I'm not raising it now because I'm in my apartment, but I was not almost yelling, but not quite. It was very much, "That kid's dead, and this is the cause of it." Panic. So.
Yeah, but I think Eastbourie's also kind of in shock.
Okay.
And so, with a roll of 7, I'm just going to say that they're too much in their own head to have picked up on that. They're like, I need to go look where the rats came from. I think that's what Eastbourie's thinking. Is that correct?
That's certainly where you're heading, yes.
Yeah. So you're laser focused on that, and you hear some yelling in the distance, but it's like, and you're like, I can't deal with this yelling right now. I've got to figure this out for myself. I don't want to know what this is. And so you're intentionally blocking it out in some way then, with that roll of 7. That's how I'm going to interpret it, unless you have a better suggestion, because I'm willing, it's your
Sounds
character.
good to me.
Okay. So the last thing you're saying is, what was the question you asked, Matt?
I want to inspect it. I want to look at it and see if there's any like runic writing on it, or like skull and crossbones or something like that. Or...
Okay. What is your skill that you're going to try and examine this with?
Yes, it's going to have to be investigation, but...
Well, it could be Arcana, it could be history, it could be a bunch of different things, right? So what do you think, how do you think Swell would examine it?
He thinks there's magic involved, and he's kind of inspecting it for some sort of like runes, be that like religious or arcana in nature, to see if that's like what's happened. If by playing the instrument has caused them to, the music has caused the dead to rise.
So what's your roll?
I'm just gonna investigate because it's the same as Arcana. It's 9.
9.
Yeah.
Well, this is a bone flute. It's been made from hollowed out bone, probably from a humanoid. So it's a little bit grim. It does seem to have a little bit of magic to it, but you really don't understand like how this works. This isn't necessarily a standard magic item as you understand it. Like it isn't like the magic items that Osprey has had and shown you and talked about.
Yeah.
This is something a little bit different.
Okay. I'm just gonna like push it back like to them and kind of push them a little bit at the same time. And say, we're going to talk about this later. Don't you go anywhere. And I'll kind of turn on my heels and go find this burial.
She's clearly upset and is like, she's not upset about that you took it. She's upset about what has happened, and she takes it back, and there's almost like a look of like guilt on her face. That whether it's responsible because she was throwing the party or whether there's something more there, you're not sure. But that's sort of the emotional reaction you got from her. I want to let Caitlin know that your character is now unthawed from your paralysis. So if you want to jump in, you heard some yelling. You saw Eastbourial just walk past you recently to go down the rat tunnel. What's Bug? And I don't know what Bug's doing, but
he sort of just like helping all the people.
Okay.
And with giving them, patching up their wounds with the stuff in Boxy.
Okay.
Zip's probably going to want to get away from Snake Boy, whose name I never got because
he thaws out before you.
Yeah. So I'll probably go after Swell.
Okay.
And Eastbourial at this point.
They've gone in separate directions.
Oh, okay. I'll go after Swell then.
I followed Eastbourial down there.
Oh, now you're going. Okay.
Yeah.
So
after I thrust it back, I turned and followed.
Okay. So Swell's probably walking back into the cavern at the point that you're unparalyzed.
Okay. Yeah. I'll just like look back at Snake Boy and be like, I gotta go help my friends. Run off.
I gotta go.
Right.
Sorry, urgent call.
I'm going through it. Done. Oh. See ya.
Swell never yells, like something must be really going on here. Something must be wrong.
Did I see where Eastbourial went?
No, but like with, but Zip did. So if you want to follow Zip, like you guys can figure out where he went. So I'm gonna zip ahead to East Boreal and
Mhm.
East Boreal's trip, and then you'll arrive shortly after.
Okay.
So East, what do you?
What am I seeing in these tunnels?
So as you continue along these tunnels, you're seeing a lot of, at first you see some signs of there being partying stuff, like, there are some empty bottles or rinds from fruits that people have been, eating, and, clearly it's spilled out a little bit beyond the main cavern into this other area. And now you're seeing the tunnels that would go into a mine. So there's a track on the ground. It's not rusted up and disused really, like they only have been out of operation for a couple years, so it's not looking like anciently disused. It's just looking fairly recently disused. And you're seeing mostly carved out caverns supported by wooden beams. And you walk along and it starts to diverge into different directions. If you want to figure out where the rats came from, I'll need you to make a survival check.
Oh, that is the intent so far. 19.
19. Wow. Yeah, they've left a lot of little footprints, so you can figure out where things have come from. And you go down that fork, and it starts to, it goes down another really well-supported wooden beam tunnel. And then there's like a few cracks and offshoots that go into areas that they hadn't mined.
Mhm.
Like it looks like, it's not big enough for, even a dwarf or a halfling to have gotten in that space. It's, they're more like fissures or cracks that have appeared over time. And with a roll of 19, I'm going to say that, you track these skeletal mice to have come from these passages.
Does it look like this is their origin point, like where the skeletons might have started from?
This is definitely where they entered the mine,
Okay.
but you don't know, like, is there like, some other place that they could have started, a mile away from there. It's unlikely. It's probably pretty close to here based on the amount of time it took them to arrive from your music.
Mm-hmm.
But you're not sure.
I want to see if there's anything there that looks suspicious.
Sure,
He
give me
is
an
going
investigation
to
check.
hunt around. Yeah.
Or you can do investigation, or you can do survival, depending on what sort of skills you want to use.
9 for investigation.
9. With a 9, you are like, yeah, it probably came from the cracks. Maybe from, maybe there's another animal in there that ate them, or maybe there were a whole bunch of them that got crushed based on, shifting rocks during an earthquake, and they all died, and there was a nest of them that died or something. But, you don't know for sure really what's happened here.
I'm going to stop there. And end up, I just stand there for a minute. The silence and the darkness and nobody being there. For once, is something that he is searching for, that he's welcoming.
And it's not long before you are joined, because you have 2 people who are trailing you. So we're going to have Swell and Zip you arrive at the scene.
The moment I hear footsteps, I think I'm going to make a minor illusion of a more rock-like, shape it as if it's a bulge of the cavern wall. It just extends out a bit further than it actually does, and just hide inside of it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So I guess first I'm going to have Swell or Zip make a survival check. So if you're trying to track which way East Boreal went at that junction.
Do it.
Got a 19.
19. So yeah, you follow no problem. But then when you get there, you see that the footprints, even Eastboreal's footprints, just sort of disappear and end.
I'm probably going to call out to him and be like, Spuriel! Don't go off on your own! There's probably more skeletons around. Jeez, where's that guy? Probably trying to be the hero. What's up with him?
You just saw someone die. And
What?
like, die. They're not coming back. So, it's pretty heavy. Ease, are you there? I'll grab Zip by the shoulder and say, out loud, we'll come back and try and find you in a bit. Don't go too far, alright?
I can't just leave him out here on his own.
He's a big boy.
What if more of those skeletons show up though?
I don't think they will. I think it was the music. And that bone flute that other musician was playing.
Bone flute?
Yeah. I don't
And
know if it
then
was...
the rock just like Israel just suddenly surges out of the illusion that he made and grabs Swallow by the shoulder and says, "What?"
Zip's probably gonna like react by like grabbing her sword and be like, ah! Oh my god, there you are! Jeez, I told you not to go off on your own. This place is crawling with skeletons.
What did you say?
That's the that musician you were playing with. They were playing on a flute made of bone, and it looked like it could have been a human bone or something. So, not like a humanoid bone. I mean, but I think there's something going on with it.
Can I make a roll to see if I recall that both times they came out, it was both of them playing?
You can have advantage.
Would that be
Very well.
intelligence?
You can do intelligence or wisdom, however you think Eastboreal solves problems, either one.
It's definitely not wise.
What was that?
It's definitely not wise.
Okay. And like I said, you can have advantage on that because you've just been given some
Yeah.
information from your pal there.
19.
Absolutely, you can make that connection as well.
Yeah, I thought it was weird because the Dead came out last time you were both playing together, and it came at the same time now. And I mean, the only thing that's different from when you play music is that you had someone playing with you and they were playing that bone flute.
He spins around and dives back into the rock illusion, and then you just hear.
I awkwardly look at Zip.
Zip's gonna.
Look, we can.
Eastboreal? Do you want something to eat?
I am going to kill her.
She doesn't. I don't think she knows. Alright. I shouldn't be laughing at this, but.
We're not professional actors, so it's a little hard to stay in character. It's a little bit nervous and whatever, so it's totally expected.
Do you think that she's doing this on purpose? Is she
No.
messing with us?
No, I don't think she is. I don't know
How do
that
you
she's
know,
not, but
though?
well, that's it. I mean, if she was doing it on purpose, when we get back up, she'll be gone. But if it was by accident, she'll still be there. That's my... We'll know she's guilty, basically. Let's go. Look, I told her not to go anywhere. We're gonna have words, but if you need a minute, we can wait for you, or we can just head back up.
Oh. And then his fall there.
Zip's gonna try and awkwardly like pat you on the shoulder.
Through the rock.
Yep. Just
Yeah.
Roll the hit.
Well, at this point, you certainly know that it's an illusion since both came out of it and went back into it.
I'd like to roll the hit with disadvantage.
Don't roll a 1. Or, no, actually roll a 1.
No, it's Caitlin. Caitlin's the one who's trying to hit you.
I rolled a 15.
Yeah.
With disadvantage?
Yeah, with the
Okay.
disadvantage.
You do get a shoulder.
Okay. Say. Everything's gonna be alright. It's for real. Don't cry.
Comforting is a really bad fit for you.
Hey,
Well,
try
that
my
was
best
foolish.
here, alright? Jeez, cut me some slack.
Just kind of like give Zip a little smile and a nod.
Whatever, come on, let's just go and mess this girl up.
You just want to fight everyone.
It's the only solution. Let's at least break her stupid flute.
Oh, we should check on Bug. I'll at that thought, I'll turn around and start walking back up to look for Bug.
Right. Where do we find Bug?
So Bug has been gathering all the people that are unconscious or injured in a corner and putting a blanket on them in a pile in a line. So he's gathered everyone at this point.
Okay. And there's lots of people around, like, who are also in shock and just like sort of just babbling and stuff. And maybe you've gathered them as well, like help them find somebody to talk to. Like, are you doing
Yeah,
that kind of
he's providing counseling and therapy for all of them.
or set them up with somebody who might be able to provide that for them. Like, here, you talk to them. And yeah, you're doing a good job. People are listening to you. There are a couple other people who have sort of taken up, a position of leadership in this. One of them is the woman that Swell had been talking to and was interested in because of her interesting tales of going around Yarva. She's one of the people who stayed and fought with you, and she's injured, but she's still, trying to gather people around and help them deal with what happened. And so is the very tough dwarf who didn't want to fight Zip the first week or first night that you guys were here. And those two have really sort of taken up the mantle of, making sure everyone's okay. I tell you, Glark the lizard boy would definitely be making sure everybody had water if he was conscious.
What about Snake Boy? Did he bugger off?
He didn't bugger off. He's neither a mess nor being super helpful. He's kind of in the middle. He's like talking to people and nodding and stuff and listening to what's going on, but he's not leading the effort in the way the others were. At least this is what Bug seems to understand from their time here while you guys were doing your searching, soul searching and rat searching. So you guys return and see Bug, having things a little bit under control. Like, despite being one of the younger people here, he's really done a lot to get things calm down. Actually, you know what, Bug? Give me a persuasion check to see how people are reacting to you giving out instructions and, you know, like, hey, help me get his feet and all that kind of stuff that you would need to say.
Okay, I got an 8.
8. So you can probably, I should have said you can make it at advantage because you were just, you know, kicking butt and they were singing songs about you.
Okay.
So they were probably more likely to listen to you.
I still got an 8.
You got an 8. So they're doing some of the things you asked them to do, but they're also, you know, more interested in listening to what the two dwarves were saying. But
That's
you're able to get some help, but, you know, maybe some of them are a little awkward around you because, you know, you're an outsider who has shown up in a moment of tragedy. The rest of the party regroups with you. What do you guys want to do? What do you want to say? What's happening?
I'm gonna look for Flute Girl.
Flute Girl's sort of on the edge of the party, you know, talking to people and just through a lot of tears and a lot of weeping, and people are hugging her. She's pretty freaked out.
I'm gonna go up and kind of shove her a bit. Say, give me that flute.
She hands it to you. It's like stuffed in her back pocket. And she doesn't even like address you or really look at you. She just hands it over. And her friends are like, hey, you can't just push her. What are you doing? She just had one of her best friends killed.
This is all her fault. Get out
How-
of here. Jeez.
You get out of here.
So many people in danger. You don't
You're the-
even know what kind of
We didn't even have any danger before you showed up.
Before we showed up?
Yeah, no,
We just saved your butts.
you probably caused the problem to begin with.
As if. I'm not walking around with some stupid bone flute calling up dead people. I'm gonna storm off. I don't want to hear any more of this.
All right.
I want to approach after all of that up to the person who had the flute and just kind
First
of
the stick, and then the carrot.
yeah. Are they sitting down or are they standing? Like, what's the situation?
Yeah, they probably are. After having dealt with something like that, they're probably sitting down. They're probably like sort of cross-legged in a bit of a circle. A lot of hugging going on.
I'm just gonna kneel.
Hand holding.
I'm gonna kneel down in front of her, and just say, first of all, I'm very, very sorry about her. It's very emotional all around, obviously, but I just want to know who gave you that flute.
It's a guy who came through here a while ago, like a couple years ago. He was pretty cool. He gave us lots of cool music to listen to, and he was just exploring around here, and he gave it to me. He liked the music I played. It was a gift.
And have you played it before?
Yeah, I play it all the time.
Nothing happened before.
Nothing like this, no. Like, I just, it's like an instrument. I've never had anything weird happen.
Okay. Do you remember the name of the person that gave it to you? Or was it...
Yeah, his name was Dunk.
Dunk?
Yeah.
So, out of character, I remember there was some talk about a traveling person. There was the library guy, and a few others.
There was a library guy and at least one other.
Yeah.
So, give me a history check.
Nine.
Yeah. There was somebody who had orange hair, and they were a visitor like a year ago in Thornwall. And there's also the bookworm who wanders
That's-
around and looks for things and comes by every once in a while and is really interested in getting books. And yeah, you remember that Yarva's done a lot of traveling. But
the dwarven girl.
Yeah.
I was speaking to. Yeah. Is she here or is she with other people?
she's with other people.
Okay. Just kind of nod a couple of times and then get up and walk away. And then I guess head over to Idava and ask if she knows who that person is. This traveling person with orange hair named Dunk.
I know somebody with orange hair named Dunk. Yeah, they were the one that gave the flute to Lara.
I think you actually gave a name before, which I have my notes.
Yeah.
Do you want to use the current name or?
No. Do you want
okay.
to do a
That's right,
history
that
check to find out if you can use that name?
Is Eastburial still hiding in the rock wall?
Oh yeah, he's not there.
Oh, okay.
So it's not. I wouldn't have heard this anyway. But I was just wondering if that was an oversight or deliberate.
Yeah, that was a deliberate switch of names of somebody with orange hair because he rolled a 9.
Oh, okay.
So you remember there was somebody with orange hair who was traveling around here. You don't remember their name. So you have said, I think this person named Dunk is the person with orange hair. And this person said, yeah, Dunk did have orange hair. Now what Eastburial or Priscilla has figured out is that the person with orange hair was not named
Someone
Dunk
else.
the other time that you heard of this person. So is it the same person?
Okay.
We don't know. But right now that it feels like they could be to you because that's with a roll of a 9.
All right. All I got. Head back and find Zip. And Isburial didn't come upstairs. Sorry, you muted.
You probably will not come upstairs for quite a while, I suspect.
I think Zip's probably going to take that flute down to Eastburial. Try and lure him out.
That's what flutes are for, right?
Yeah. I'll
Just
go
don't
back
lure the
to-
skeleton out of his body.
Yeah. Zip will go back down to where Eastburial is hiding and say, look, I got the flute. Do you want to, I don't know, do you want to check it for magic or whatever?
And he snatches at it.
Yeah, she's all like,
And then-
oh, I didn't do it on purpose. Like they're going to invite us to these parties and call out their dead like it's just an accident. I think they're messing with us.
I unfortunately don't have any kind of identification magic, but I want to just look at it and try to figure out what I can about it, just from looking at it.
What sort of check would Eastburial do? Are you relying on
Arcana, I think.
Arcana? Sure.
Yeah.
You say Arcana, I say Arcana. It's all the same thing.
Tomato, tomato.
I
9.
switch all the time, my pronunciation. Sorry, it was 10 you said?
9.
9. Yeah, it looks kind of magical, but you don't know exactly this type of magic. Like, it's not something that you're super familiar with. You would know in general, probably, like I'm not going to make you make a roll for this. You would know that because you have an item, you know that sometimes you have to attune to items, and if you attune to them, they'll tell you things about themselves. But there are also some items that you don't know what they do.
He's going to start the attunement process, which I imagine just kind of looks like him turning it over and over in his hands. And then one point he sort of experimentally does a across the mouthpiece.
You wipe it off first. I have a question about rules, because this is something I'm not even sure about. Can you ritually cast a spell if you don't have it prepared? Or do you have to have it prepared for the day to cast it?
As a cleric, the rule book says you do.
Oh, it does?
I do not. I'm pretty sure it says it. You do, but I don't like that rule. So, am I wrong, Priscilla?
Oh no, I just misunderstood which side you were saying when you said you do. But
Yeah. So I think if ideally, I would have it in my list of prepared spells for the day, and then I could cast it as a ritual and not use a spell slot. But it's like a spell that I'm
going to say that I always think that you should be able to cast a ritual spell. If it's in your list of things, whether it's your spell book or your cleric list of spells, I think you should be able to cast it as a ritual, because it's probably a spell that's just going to make role-playing more interesting. That's what those 10-minute long spells are, right?
Yeah. And then I'll sit down I'll walk into the rock face and sit down with this burial and take the 10 minutes to cast Detect Magic.
at this point, he's probably let that dissipate since nobody was down there. But
All right.
Yeah.
Okay. But yeah, I'll take the 10 minutes to do that.
Okay. It is magic, and it radiates necromantic magic.
I knew it. Knew it. This thing's all sorts of bad. It's got magic in it, and it's bad magic. It's not the good kind of magic.
what does it do?
I do want to point out, you can make the decision about that, but I want to point out that necromantic doesn't necessarily mean bad. Cure wounds is a necromantic spell.
No, I know that. I was intentionally
Okay.
I was like, it's bad magic, even though as a cleric, I cast a lot of those types of spells. I'm gonna say it's necromantic. It's oozing necromantic stuff. It's crazy. Oh man.
It actually doesn't seem to be oozing. It doesn't seem to be particularly strong.
Oh. Do a toot. Do a toot on it.
Or
A
not.
toot.
Maybe we could just, I don't know, like smash it.
No, just do a toot, and I'm gonna look at it real intently while I wait. Just watch the aura.
Okay, you do a toot, and nothing happens other than the music coming out of the flute.
Doesn't grow stronger.
Probably not
or
great
anything.
music because I'm not actually proficient with flutes. Like, if you ever heard anyone try to play a flute when they don't know how to, it's just like.
So it's like a woodwind instrument. That's like,
Oh, it's a recorder.
yeah, it's more of a recorder.
Recorder of death.
Isn't that every recorder?
Yeah.
Oh no! Someone drew something that we shouldn't have drawn.
The flute.
Maybe that tail.
Sorry.
I think it's a hazard of the occupation.
Yes.
Yeah.
I zoomed out for the first time. I was like, "Oh, wait a second. That's a."
Oh no.
The flute.
Yeah, I don't know what to do about this. This is.
I know what to do.
What did she say about it?
It was given to her by some guy named Dunk with orange hair. Came through town like a year ago or something.
Should I make an intelligence roll now or a history roll?
You can make a history roll to see if you remember.
Probably not. 9. This appears to be my
9.
number.
So, yeah, you remember there being a red-haired person, or orange-haired person, I should say. You don't remember their name, at least not at this moment. So, sure, sounds about right.
And you sure that she was telling you everything.
I mean,
She was not lying.
so Swell's just gonna be like, kind of look at you and be like, maybe you should talk to her and find out, because I don't know.
I think that might be a good idea. How late is it now at this point? Are people still in the rest of the cavern?
Yeah, people aren't really ready to go back to town. It seems like it's you guys went on a little bit. You did your set at shortly after midnight, and then there was another couple hours of partying before you guys did your duet. So it's probably like 3 o'clock in the morning now, which means you're not super tired because you guys slept in very late.
I don't have a whole lot that Esperial is going to do besides he's going to sit there and fiddle with the flute and attune to it. But he will eventually, after that is done, go up and keep an eye on Laura. But he's not going to confront her right now. So he's...
It's going to take you an hour to attune to the flute. So does anybody want to do anything else before that hour? People are starting to talk about how are we going to explain this to his parents? How are we going to go back to the village with all of us cut up?
Right, because we're outside the village, aren't we?
Well, you're inside, like, technically you're still in the village because the entrance to the mines was from the village. But, like, just going back to their families, like, you know, they have to go back and tell their parents, explain to their parents why they're covered in scratches and cuts and why one of their friends is dead because they went to a secret party.
Honestly, at this point, it's probably for the best that they stop having these midnight parties. But I don't know.
Just a whole lot of crying and stuff going on for a while. Then, if nobody has anything else they want to do, I'll zip ahead an hour in time.
Did no one ran off to get like an adult or anything?
Some people ran off when the escaped past the ghouls. When the rats attacked, that like they dodged to the side and the ghoul went past them and then they went out. So like there's some people that are unaccounted for that they think must have, like they're saying like, yeah, I saw him run to the side. He didn't get hit by one of the ghouls. Unless there's another ghoul out there. I don't know. Are you going to go look? I'm not going to go look. I thought they were coming to the music. They were drawn to the music. So we would see a ghoul if they'd be here by now, right? And
yeah, I actually think that Zip would probably want to like go back into the tunnel and make sure that there's not more coming.
Sure. You can do wandering through the tunnels and you discover, you know, no other signs of undead passage. Do you want to do a survival check to do any sort of tracking stuff, or?
Yeah, maybe a survival check.
Sure.
17.
17. You figure out where the ghouls came from, actually.
Oh.
There aren't a ton of footprints, fresh footprints down here past a certain point. Like you can tell the tunnel that they came from. And it looks like there was a rock that fell from the ceiling and collapsed in a tunnel. And you can see a little bit of tunnel beyond there. And it looks like they came from being pinned by this boulder, that they must have pulled themselves out from under the boulder. So I don't know if you remember last week, I said that one of them was sort of, their spinal column was just hanging on by a thread. Like maybe that's like it's magically rejoined itself because they were animated, but that was how they were killed, getting crushed by this boulder.
All right. Well, if there's no other ones shuffling around, I'll probably head back to where the other guys are.
You do not see any footprints that mark anybody else. Any other undead.
I'll get back and I'll do that like security thing and be like, prove it is safe. No more ghouls. You need to worry about it.
Zip to the pose where she's just standing with like one hand on her wrist, hold in front of her, bouncer style.
Yeah, standing by the door. one hand on the hilt of her sword.
Yeah.
Now, there was guards out the front of the mine on the way in, right?
No. There weren't guards in the mine. There were guards just outside where the flowers were.
Yeah.
So yeah, guarding the flowers. So those kids might have been spotted by adults.
I might everyone's gonna call me a narc, but I'm gonna go and knock on everyone.
Call you that because it's true.
Typical swell.
I'm just gonna not dob them in. There's people down here that need medical attention more so than we can provide, and also if they wake up and don't wake up until morning, like some of them they might sleep through the night. The miners that come in are going to have like a rude shock when they find a group of near dead teens.
Well, the miners aren't coming in
abandoned
because these
mine.
are, yeah,
Oh, these are abandoned.
like about a
Right.
year or two ago, there was less of a call for their being barrel mined a few years back.
Okay.
And so, I mean, they sometimes come out and grease the wheels and run stuff down the track in case they need to bring it back into operation. But
Oh, then that I won't do that. I thought there was an impending threat of being found out, so I wanted to preempt that so we could save some face or something like that. But if it's way less likely that we're going to get caught, I'm not going to knock. Swell's no narc, man. So.
He's only a knock if he thinks he's already good.
Swell is a good boy. He's a very, very good boy. Yeah. But yeah, he'll sit with the kids that are injured now and provide any help as needed because he must have a little bit of medical training. Yeah, cleric and all.
yeah, everybody seems like they're about as well as you would expect them to be. Nobody seems like they're going to die of their injuries.
That's good.
After an hour passes, Priscilla is trying to attune to this flute, and you feel like this flute, while you're playing it, you're going to be able to play more notes than are possible on the recorder. You're going to have a larger range of sounds and are going to be able to play them louder. And that is the magical effects of this. You do not know of any other magical effect from this object.
Pretty cool.
I look at it, and at a certain point, I just start attempting to play on it.
All right, make a performance check.
"21."
Yeah, you've played recorder before. It was one of the first instruments you learned. You know, you start on the recorder, right? And what type of song are you going to play?
That seems appropriate. So something mournful, fairly dirge-like. But it's a song. The first song that comes to mind is something about a ghost of vengeance.
Okay. You play this song, and some people seem a little bit upset by it, but most of them seem comforted by this song. It echoes down the cavern.
At this point, I'm basically just waiting for Laura to leave.
They're putting off the inevitable. They don't want to go and talk to their parents. They don't want to go explain this. They don't know how to deal with this. And they just keep arguing around in circles about what's going to happen and who's going to do what. So eventually, some of them just say, look, I'm just going. I don't care about you guys. I just gotta go. I'm going to go home and you can deal with it. I don't care. And they're like, fine, why don't you go? And there's like, big fights happening and, emotional explosions, and more people start to go, and people are calling them names as they're leaving, and they're heading back. And some people, like Yarva and your muscly snake man, start trying to pick up some of the injured people and carrying them out. They say, well, if they're going out, they're going to get spotted. We might as well all go. And they start heading out. It's probably about dawn. Everybody's sort of making their way out. Are you guys going to follow, or are you going to just let everybody leave?
Do any of the injured people wake up?
Let's see. Yeah, maybe one of them has woken up. What is it supposed to be? 4 hours after you get knocked out?
I thought it was like
1D.
Yeah.
24 hours?
It was like 1D something, right?
1D4.
1d4. Yeah, one of them is woken up by 5 in the morning, because this sort of happened at 3 in the morning, 2 to 3 in the morning. And then at 5 in the morning, it's summerish, closer to the equator. The sun's up pretty early in the morning. So one of them is walking back, and they're starting to make their way. Are you guys going to go with, or are you guys going to split off, or
No,
are you going back to the inn, or what's the plan here?
I'm gonna
Waiting for Yarva. Or, sorry, Laura.
Laura? Yeah, she goes with the rest of the group.
I'm gonna enlist someone's help. Someone who knows where this kid lived. I'm gonna ask them to help me carry him to like a hospital, or like doctors or something like that.
The dead kid?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, that there's the Sun Temple, and that's where they're planning on heading. Actually, no, they're planning on heading to the tree, to Lundariel's, to the grave site. But I mean, they think they'll get other people. Like, you're gonna get it. People are gonna stop you before that. You should take them to the parents. We don't want the parents to see them. You shouldn't deprive them of being able to see them.
I can't. He's got a. It's a boy. It's a boy, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't. We got to take him somewhere. I think to the parents is the best thing. I don't know where else to go. There's no point taking him to temple. They can't do anything now. I think
they have a blanket over him so that you can't see.
Yeah, I took off my jacket, like my cape, and put it over him. So.
Well, they've already got a blanket, I think, from Bug.
Oh, okay.
Because he pulled it out of Boxy. And
I'll
they're carrying
probably
him
wake Bug up and maybe piggyback ride him back if he's all sleepy.
Sleepy child.
Come on, Bug.
I'm
we need
like,
to get out of here.
are we heading out
Yeah, we're
on our adventure now?
Yeah, let's keep going. And I'll give him a piggyback ride out.
Boxy and Sutran follow behind. And the muscly Yuan-Ti, whose name you find out is Dresdek Lumber Splitter. So Dresdek and Yarva are carrying him on a table, upside down table. You said you wanted to enlist some. They were carrying him out.
because I couldn't carry him by myself. Is the thing. Like I needed a second pair of hands to move
Well,
him. But
they're closer to him emotionally,
okay,
so that they're like, no, this is our thing. We're carrying him.
all right, okay. I'll defer to their judgment.
Yeah, you guys should maybe just. You guys should probably all leave town right now.
Why we didn't pause this?
There are going to be a lot of angry parents in the morning.
Yeah, there should be. Very well should be. Who's it going to come down on though?
The strangers that just walked into town.
Is this the big beefy guy saying this?
No, it's Yarva. Yarva's saying that. I mean, I think you're cool and all, and I don't blame you, but I know they will. That's why I'm asking you to leave. It's for the best, for you. If you want to get wrapped up in this, go for it. That's fine. But it's not going to be, you're not going to help anything out by being here.
All right.
Unless you can bring them back from the dead, you're not going to make anything better. You've done what you can.
Swell's going to sigh very heavily, and because he knows eventually he'll be able to, but he can't do that right now. I'll just kind of again silently nod and then turn around and go find a Spuriel and let them do their thing. And then if you're amenable to it, basically drag you back to the hotel and damn it.
Is Laura still? Does she look like she's going to go home, or is she going to Lindariel's?
She's gone home. She's
okay.
Look, well, there's a big kerfuffle as you guys are coming out, like because there are lots of adults that are seeing what's going on, and sort of the village is being woken up. You can be involved in this, or you can try and slip away.
He's going to try and slip away from that, but he does want to track where Laura goes to.
Okay, so give me a stealth check to get out of there.
Sure hope it's not a 9. It's a 7.
Hey, it wasn't a 9.
It wasn't a 9.
I'm going to give you a +2 bonus. What about the rest of the group? Are you guys trying to stealth out too, or are you trying to, talk to adults and stuff?
Zip's definitely trying to avoid the adults.
Well,
I'm not trying to hide, but I'm not trying to engage either.
all right. So then I need a stealth check from Zip and a stealth check at disadvantage from Swell.
Oh, I said I wasn't trying to hide.
I know, so that's why it's at disadvantage.
I was at disadvantage
like,
anyway. Because of
right.
my chainmail.
Well, I got a crit, and then I got a 4.
So you're not. Oh, because you're wearing your armor at disadvantage. Is that right?
Yeah.
Okay.
And I'm carrying Bug too.
All right.
And
So
Bug is walking
I got a 2.
by himself now.
all right. That's a general group fail. You're sort of exhausted and bleary-eyed and not really sure what's going on. And the town are like starting to yell at you and like, you guys, it's you. Your fault. What'd you do? And there's like the exact sort of reaction Yarva was telling you was going to happen. Just looking for somebody to blame. So like a group of like 30 adults here already.
I'm just going to keep walking. In this,
It looks like Priscilla's talking, but
Oh.
Are you muted?
Yeah, I was accidentally. Israel is not going to actually engage with them. He doesn't even really appear to see them. he's just going to keep walking past unless they actually physically grab or bar his way.
All right. Let's see how they feel about that. I don't know whether some of them. Yeah, they're going to let you pass. They don't want to physically grab somebody right now. They sort of turn to the next person, to Zip. He's like, "Yeah, you're a bunch of troublemakers. You come here and you cause everybody to get killed."
Zip's gonna ignore them until she's has walked down the street a bit, and then she's gonna turn back and be like, "You should teach your kids not to play with stuff that they don't understand."
All right. And Swell, you're following along, or are you going to get wrapped up in the discussion with the parents?
If anyone gets up in my face, does anyone?
Well, they said that to basically you and Zip, I guess. Like, you were right beside Zip, so you can either just keep walking with Zip or answer what Zip was saying.
Is it the parents of the kid that died?
They're not announcing who they are. They're just an adult who's yelling at you.
I'm just gonna stare them down. I'm
Right,
actually starting to get angry now.
Intimidation check. Staring someone down. There's a roll for that.
17.
17. All right. They sort of back down and back away.
The full gathering storm clouds in my eyes tell them to.
In the distance, there's thunder rumbling, but it's a fine day.
I'm like, you have no idea what you're talking about.
3 things wise men fear.
And I'll put my arm around Zip. And
there's a bug around her.
Put my arm around Ys and guide them back to the hotel to collect our stuff.
Are you on board with that, Ys, or did you have another plan?
All of his attention is on Lara.
Okay. Lara goes back to she's talking to the parents for a while, and then she tries to storm off, and she's trying to make her way with the body towards the parents' home, and you see clear what now you can guess is probably the parents, because they're 2 jaguar tabaxi come out and they're just weeping over the body, and they pull the cape off and are looking at the body, and it's just like a complete meltdown mess, and she's still sort of hanging around. And then after another half an hour or so, she's walking back, her parents are there, and she's talking to them, and they're fighting, and they're grabbing her by her the curved part of the back of the chameleon head, and they're pulling her back to her home. Her parents are yelling at her. They disappear into one of those tunnels in the side of the village has been strip mined, sort of like those in the center, and they've got those tunnels that go back in where people live.
He's probably going to go back to the inn at this point.
Okay.
Because he's exhausted. But I'll see what everyone else says. He actually goes ahead and pays for another room for the night.
Hadn't you already last week?
We were supposed to leave today, though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So he was paying for another night.
Okay. So you said you want to check in with the group.
Zip will probably see Isbaril paying for another night and saying, "Do you think we should get out of here?"
Well, I haven't gotten any sleep.
Yeah, but do you really want to stay in this place?
It's preferable to staying outside in the jungle.
I don't know. 2 nights of skeletons beg to differ.
Well, I sincerely doubt there will be another party tonight, so I think we should be safe from that.
All right. If you think so.
Well, and Bug aren't weighing in.
Well, I feel like we keep saying we'll leave next day, but you guys didn't get any sleep, so it's hard to continue to. But I got a full night of sleep, so
You got a short night of sleep. You got like
sure.
4
Okay,
4 hours.
4 hours of sleep. Yeah, so I guess I'm still sleepy. All right. Well, I mean, we can't really continue without sleep. And let's just look. We can't go to another night of party, no matter what, or anything.
No, yeah, we're
Sleep at 10.
leaving tomorrow, regardless. They try to lock us up for this, we break out and we leave. Like, we're not sticking around. But I think we should explain our side of the story at least, so we're not labeled as the cause of this. Because we tried to stop it. We didn't know this was going to happen. Those kids were going to be down there regardless whether we were here or not. We should...
Let them come at us if they wish. We don't answer to them, and we have no need for their opinions.
Yeah,
Exactly.
we didn't do anything wrong.
No, exactly. But they don't see it that way.
Who cares what they think?
For once, I find myself in agreement with it.
Then... yeah.
Well, also everyone at the party saw that we helped and fought against the rats and stuff, so they will be able to defend us, I guess.
I mean,
Yeah, except from the way they were talking, they thought that it was our fault that these skeletons kept showing up.
The teenagers thought it was our fault too?
Yeah, they're all like, we didn't have any trouble with skeletons until you guys came to town. I don't know.
Well,
Seems a bit suspicious to me.
so ungrateful.
right?
Well,
We just happen to be here, but I think because we're like chosen or whatever, like we have these gifts that they're gonna think that we're the ones that caused it, even if we're the ones that didn't. You know? Yeah, we should just get out of here.
yeah, let's just lock our doors, go to sleep, and maybe we should, I don't know, should we leave like at nighttime?
Yeah.
Leave in the middle of the
I'm
night.
gonna cover
Or
up
in the
goggles.
afternoon, maybe? We can go to sleep right now,
Yeah.
leave in the afternoon.
Yeah.
What if?
Because I don't want to be dragged into another night of craziness.
Me either.
I would say that yeah, you guys are having this are you having this discussion in the tavern in the inn just outside the inn? Like, where is this happening?
I would think we'd have gone up to one of the rooms
Yeah.
to have a
That's
private
right.
discussion. We wouldn't be doing this in front of the innkeeper.
The innkeeper does ask, Priscilla, when your character Burial asks to pay for the rooms. Like, well, you guys are coming in awfully late. What's all that noise going on out there?
I did not pay you to ask questions. I'm paying you for a room.
Oof. Fine, honey.
That's such a perfect East Burial answer.
I'm just gonna
So
go
you guys,
determine
you guys-
that discussion.
you guys go back and you go to sleep. Bug, you wake up first.
I think just point of order before we skip to that.
Yeah.
Should we all sleep in the same room for safety?
Well,
I mean, if they come knocking and
Yeah.
they want to drag us out, we should be together. Unless you feel comfortable. Like, don't feel comfortable sleeping in the same room.
Yeah, I'll probably want to sleep in the same room as the other guys. Not because I'm scared or anything, but because I don't want anything bad to happen to them while they're asleep.
yeah, Esperilla will go ahead and actually no. He's going to want to I just want to enjoy the privacy of an inn before we have to get dragged out into the jungle again, and I am sleeping 3 feet from you for the next week.
Okay.
I'm sure if something happens, you can hear me screaming.
Okay. Just nod. Grab my bedroll and lay it out on the floor of, I guess, Zip's room.
Esperilla is, however, going to drag the bed in front of the door, assuming it opens inward.
Yeah. I assume it would open inward like most indoors or whatever.
He's also going to take one of his spare clothes and he's going to rip up huge pieces out of it. He's like gonna make it super tattered around the edges, take chunks out of it, same with pants, and then he takes some of the sheets from the bed and starts attaching ribbons, like streamers, from torn off bits of the sheet to the edges of the shirt.
Picturing the Ultimate Warrior, like the ribbons that he had around his arms. I don't know, like as like a fringe.
Not fringe so much. It's just more like tattered streamers.
Battle damage, right?
They're kind of more like pennants than ribbons. Yes.
It's like battle damage to Subriel, right?
No.
No?
I mean, he is going to dirty it up too as well.
Okay.
So, taking some ink and like rubbing it on the floor and like crumpling and mashing it up.
So the elf and the other elf or half elf and the bugbear who slept for 4 hours are done after like 4 hours. So everybody except for Swell is basically up at the same time.
Wait, how long does Swell need to sleep for?
Need a full 8.
Yep, full 8. It's like the
So
number of
it's
meals
like-
a halfling needs a day.
So is it like like noon or afternoon at this point?
Yeah, you probably got back because you were trailing around and talking about what to do and stuff like that. So it was probably 7 in the morning when you fell asleep. So 4 hours after that, it takes you to 11.
All right. Well, so Zip and Isboreal are also awake,
Burial's not in the same room as you, but yeah.
but Zip is awake.
Yeah.
It's like, wow, that's that was a good sleep. Did you sleep well?
All right, I guess.
Now I'm kind of hungry now.
Doesn't Foxy have anything?
Does
Foxy pops out some of the fruit that was at the party from last night. I guess no,
wow.
Foxy
Wait.
probably gave that out last night to people who are all sort of crazy. Foxy probably looks at you.
No food. Okay. I'm gonna be like, are you hungry? Should we go look for some food? Maybe they have a brunch buffet.
Yeah. Let's get something for Swell when he wakes up too.
Yeah, that sounds good. So I'm just gonna leave the room.
You open the door and you look out in the hallway, and there are 4 soldiers dressed in bug plate armor, like you saw guarding the way into town. And they're all standing there with their, they'll stand to attention as you get out and put their hands on their swords. And they're like, all right, we're going to have to escort you guys out of town.
Close
Right
the door.
Are you coming out? You're awake now?
Not all of us.
No. No, we're gonna go back to sleep now. Okay.
Well, when
wait.
you're all awake, you can go back into your room. Come out when you're ready.
Wait, you're gonna escort us where?
Out of town.
Out of town. Okay, actually, that's not that bad. That's where we want to go. Okay, alright, I close the door. Man.
Wait, before you close the door, I'm gonna say, can we get something to eat?
Oh yeah.
Make a persuasion check.
15?
See what we can do.
Zip's gonna like slowly close the door.
All right. Eastboil, you probably heard that exchange.
Okay.
And unless anybody wants to do anything right now, I
Just
will...
open the door and says, breakfast for me as well, please. No, he doesn't have to please. He just says breakfast for me as well and tosses the silver out and then closes the door again.
Make a persuasion check with disadvantage because he's throwing money at them.
Well, I don't think I could get any lower than that unless I actually... so that is a 7.
Okay. So after about 15 minutes, you can all smell the smell of like some warm cups of coffee being brought up, and your door, Zip and Bug, there's a knock at it.
Yeah, I go immediately to open the door.
One of the bartender that helped you out the first night, or the server that helped you out the first night, is there, and she has a plate of charcuterie again, as standard sort of lunch fare, and some coffees. And
Wow.
they do not knock on East Boreal's door.
Okay. Is this like, do they give us like 3 servings or 2 servings of food?
It's a fairly large plate, like, because it's like sort of a platter. It's like, you serve yourself.
Did we notice that they didn't give any to Esporio?
Sure, yeah.
Okay. Okay. Well, should we share these? I guess we could go next door and we should all eat some food.
Yeah, alright.
Should we wake up Swell?
Let him sleep.
Okay. Alright, more food for us.
I didn't mean you could eat all the food.
Oh, okay, fine. We'll save him 1 piece. 1 slice of meat.
That's cold, Bug.
Looks like he has a small stomach, right?
Yeah, I mean, how much do fish guys really need to eat anyway?
Yeah,
You just hear him say,
that's what I'm thinking.
half asleep, I'm not a fish guy. As I roll over and put the pillow over my head to like block
Did you
my
hear
knees.
something?
No, I didn't hear anything. I'm gonna say that like louder.
You throw my pillow at you.
Okay.
We'll go and buzz
That's-
East Peru.
Yeah, we knock on the door.
What is it?
It's do you want some food?
Your breakfast arrived, and mine hasn't.
I know, what a surprise.
Did you-
One of the guards takes the silver pieces and throws it back at you.
The door's not open. He
Oh,
has
okay.
not actually opened it.
It's a door.
Yeah.
Ting, ting, ting against the door.
They wait until you open the door to do that.
With with the Zip and Bug in the way.
Well, we'll see what happens. Are you opening the door?
I opened the door like just to try just enough to see his face, basically.
Okay. The door's open a crack, guys.
He's
You
doing
gonna
that really
listen?
suspicious, like Lucille Blue, Sterling.
I'm like, do you want to have some of this? I hold it up to the door.
You steps aside. You hear. He closes the door again. You hear as he pushes the bed away from the door, and then the door opens again, as he to let you in. With the bed, you can see the bed frame just beyond it, just pulled back just enough for them to get in.
At this point, the guard that you threw the money towards whips it back into the room and says, "Keep this."
If I have needed it, you look like you need it far more than I do.
All right, that's it. You're being escorted out right now. Let's go. Let's go. They kick the
He
door
put-
further in. You're coming out with Ness now. You're going. Let's go. Grab your stuff.
We haven't eaten yet, though. Our friend's still
Food.
asleep.
What was that? I sorry, Brian missed what you guys said. You guys are cutting out.
We haven't eaten yet. The can you give us a little bit more time?
You guys can have time. You were polite. You get out. And they grab Isburiel by the arm. So you're coming with us.
Hey,
Uh,
Zip's
he
gonna, like, kind of push him a bit and say, "Get off him!"
They draw swords. They say, "One more move, and we escort you out dead."
As if.
he is going to cast sleep,
Yes.
Okay, roll initiative.
as this is like a good a good use of his energies. Surprise! 9.
Oh no.
You still beat them.
Oh well.
Let's hope that they don't have much hit points.
What's it? If I do these. Oh, nope. I don't want to do it. $25
All right.
is the HP total I rolled.
None of them fall asleep.
Hmm. Yeah.
And what's your armor class?
12.
12. The sword comes out and you for 8 points of damage. Let's try that again. You want to try that again? Or are you going to come?
He is going to let me do actually a wisdom roll.
That's
Oh,
where
he
you're a
critted.
Viking.
Okay. Huh?
I said that's where you're a Viking. You're not so good at wisdom rolls.
Oh yeah, but I rolled a natural 20. So
All right.
so he kind of silently stares and then turns around and grabs his pack, which is already actually all packed up. Like all of his stuff is sitting on his bed ready to go. He's fully geared and equipped.
The two of the guards go with you. The one that drew the sword on you and another one. And they start escorting you out of the town.
I'm gonna turn to Bug and say, "Put the food in Boxy," and then I'm gonna go and get Swell up.
Yeah, I quickly stuff a few, like 4 pieces into my mouth and put the rest
Right.
in a boxy. I'm like, oh man. Fine.
Swell, you get woken up.
I say,
What?
"Come on,
What?
Swell. We gotta get out of here."
What time is it?
I don't know. Just get up.
Alright, give me a couple of minutes.
No, now.
Yeah,
the
it's...
Spirial's being escorted out of town.
Alright. We'll get up, grab my stuff. Shrug on as much of it as I can. Which I'm assuming is not much, given the time.
And you can't get your armor on.
No,
And you can't pray for spells right now.
because I... Alright. Very well. Let's get out of here.
I'll grab my stuff and Bug stuff and sort of hurry everyone down the hall.
Okay.
Yep.
You're escorted by the other two guards people. And they follow you and escort you out as well. Does anybody want to do anything uncharacteristically or characteristically wonderful on the way, or are you just going to allow yourselves to be escorted?
He's not going to do anything right now.
Okay.
He is also not going to be leaving the vicinity of the town, though. I mean, like, he's basically just going to walk. Once they deposit him outside of town, he's going to walk until he's hidden by foliage or the road bending or whatever. And then he'll just stop.
I'll run and stand, like, run up to catch up with this burial, and then kind of stand in front of the guard that's, like, trailing her, and just say, "We know the way."
Great. And they keep walking alongside you. All right, you guys are escorted out of town. They say, "We catch you back here, we put you in jail. We'll put you on trial for what happened."
Put us on trial? We saved everyone, thank you.
Right. Well, I don't know what happened. This is your chance to just walk away from it. You want to come back? You come back to trouble.
Okay. Well,
For the-
fine by me.
the-
I guess we don't. There's nothing we need in here, in this town.
The one that slashed you, the other one, the one who didn't slash you, the one that, the one who was when you went into, when you opened your door and there was somebody who was like, "Okay, I'll get you breakfast," or whatever, like you were talking politely to Bug. That one says, "For what it's worth, I believe you kids, but not everybody does." Good luck.
Alright. Well, I understand.
One last thing before we go. Do you see a guy named Dunk with orange hair that comes around? You ask him about the bone flute he gave to... what's her name? The musician that organized the rave.
Yeah. We'll take care of it.
Yeah.
We've had a long discussion, gotten statements from everybody.
Right.
I'm escorting you out because I think if you stay in town, you'll be in trouble. If you want to stay and answer questions and get involved in this, you're welcome to.
No, we want to leave. We don't want to be involved.
All right. Take care then.
Well, thanks for escorting us in the breakfast.
Just ask the server if they'd bring up your breakfast. I didn't do much. And they closed the large wooden gates that lead into the village along that long. You guys entered on one side, but on the other side is very similar. There's a very tall wooden logs that are got the spikes on top of them along the road, preventing people from easily climbing in and getting into town. You do know there's a way back in through where you guys snuck out to get to the Lundariel's tree, but this side, it would be pretty hard to sneak back in without somebody noticing you.
As they leave, Escurial stops and just examines all of them. Do you want me to make a roll for how much I memorize about them?
You're trying to do this on the way, right? Because like right now, they're far away.
Basically, on the way, and then when they stop and talk, he is uncharacteristically quiet. And
Sure.
he's just staring at them.
Make an intelligence check.
Not a 9. Dirty 20.
Great. Right. You have a pretty solid memory of the person that cut you up. And pretty good of the other ones too, but that one you've got a really good visual memory of.
Mm-hmm.
They look like this. They have purple hair. It's a dwarf with bug scale armor. Or bug plate armor.
Did they say any names?
You didn't catch any.
Talk to each other? Okay.
And yeah, I guess we just walk out of town.
Okay.
All right,
Where
you guys.
where to next?
I think East Burial's plan is to not go anywhere next, to go back into town.
That's it from the sound of it.
No.
You guys, and I need to know what to plan for next week. So before we wrap up tonight, I'm going to ask you guys to make some sort of discussion about what you're going to do next, so I know whether to plan the road ahead or what happens in town.
Okay. Yeah. I think Zip will probably be like, well, glad to be shot at that place. It sucked.
Yeah.
Yeah, I knew we should have got going yesterday.
I didn't.
Well, not done
But-
hell yet.
Today's.
We're
Why do you?
so like
do you
walking
want us-
away.
I do say this as I'm walking away because I want to get away further from the site of the town and just get out of sight for anyone who's like on watch at the gate. And I say, none of the answers, not all of the, we did not find all of the answers that we could from this place. Whatever this flute was, and he just kind of holds it up and then just like hurls it down the road, where it skips end over end and then clatters. It's useless. It does nothing besides play loud notes that don't actually exist on the recorder as it is.
So what do you want to, what are you trying to find out?
I'm going to go back if it is true that the only times this happened was when Laura and I played together at the same time.
Just point of order. When I
And
cast,
it's not just
to say when I did cast detect magic, did anything else light up? Like did the Subriel's Ruth like light up or anything?
Subriel will have to answer that question.
the cruise. No, he wasn't doing any particular magic at that moment.
And nothing on your person lit up as magic?
You saw like a little glow around his arm, and the mirror in his back pocket.
We don't have to find.
Sutran starts rummaging through Boxy and comes up with some paper and quill and makes a note. Says, sometimes there can be powers to objects that you don't know, even if you attune to them. And sometimes it can change depending on who attunes to it.
Hmm. Should I attune to it? So she gave you the flute. You have.
I threw it down the road, but so it's just lying on the road right now.
I know, but okay. Well, I mean, we don't have to find out everything about everything. We need to go save our masters. You know? Maybe we'll figure it out. I think if we have this flute, we can figure out some answers later.
If we leave now, I don't know that we'll come back here. Now is the time while memories are fresh, and while her memory is fresh.
I guess I was going to say it. I mean, I'm pretty miffed that we got treated like that when we were, the ones to save everyone. If we didn't step in, everyone else would have. There'd be more people dead, right? Did we get run out of town like with some criminals or something? But I don't know if we need to stick around here.
But do you really want to be caught up in this?
No.
And the guards, they seem pretty strong, so I don't think we can. I don't know, if we get caught, it would be bad. And
fighting monsters is one thing, but fighting guards, I don't want to.
Yeah.
They're just doing their jobs. They're protecting the people in there.
Unless you think somebody is targeting us specifically. Because if this was just some random happenstance, I don't want to waste time here. But if you think that we're in danger, I don't know. I guess we could look into it some more.
Well, if they're targeting
in
us,
danger. That's what this whole adventurer lifestyle is about. But I don't know that it is targeting us. I don't think there was enough proof of that yet, except for the fact that, of course, I mean, people are always going to envy this. But I think whatever you decide to do, I am going to go back and speak Clara.
What are you gonna just ask her more questions?
She just smiles.
Is there a way to send her a message to come out here and meet you?
Wait, didn't she say she was going to go to the first place we went, the tree with all the skeletons? Could head there, see if she's around.
It's like mid-afternoon?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Probably around noon. You guys woke up at 11, and then you got your breakfast, and then you got kicked out of town, so it's probably noon.
We could check. I don't know that anyone will be there right now. If everyone else has gotten some sleep, it was not very long. But and then he takes a closer look at Star and says, "You look absolutely awful."
Thanks. Yeah, I can do with a few more hours. So at the very least, we could head there and I can finish my nap while we wait for dark or something. If you need to head back in and,
Well, safer to wait for help outside than creep around the city.
Indeed. I don't intend to go back in there while it is still light. And another thing. I think we need to go to the volcano.
To the volcano?
Yeah, I think we should go to the volcano too.
Isn't that like the opposite direction of where we...
I look at Zip, just completely astonished that she is also in this conclusion. I say,
I listen. Hey, I know what's going on.
What's going on? Why do we have to go to the volcano?
Because that's where our masters vanquished the Titans in the first place.
No,
So-
that's where they vanquished one. One of them.
Well, one's better than none.
It's the exact, or at least the description of it is the same as the one that we saw in the Nova. The purple?
At least
Purple
the-
crystalline
Yeah,
giant.
the purple crystalline one.
yeah. Matches a third of it at least.
Wait, but then
Just-
and then
wait.
what? And then why do we need to go there though?
Did the rest of it match the other? So the Titans was explained 3 times, right?
Yes.
Did the rest of the
Phoenix and
Sorry,
the
go on.
Kraken were the other ones.
basically Isburiel seems to come to the same realization as his player did and says that monster had the characteristic of all of the Titans that Elementor slew.
The Swell's just like, yeah. Those three.
The Kraken, the Phoenix, and the purple crystalline thing.
Yeah, there's some kind of
So-
like chimera of all 3 of them, right? Like,
Did we hear while we were in any of the other times? Did we hear about the volcano exploding or having some kind of eruption or anything happening within the last, I guess, 2 weeks?
I guess make a history check. There's a reminder to everyone what you guys are talking about. 1. You're sure you heard of an eruption? You definitely, yeah, there definitely was an eruption very, very recently.
When we came, around the time that we came, there was an eruption at the volcano that happened. We need to go.
Are you sure
Alright.
about that?
You guys have no recollection of that unless you want to roll a d20 and roll, see if you roll a 1 too, because that could be hilarious.
I'm gonna do it.
I rolled a 6, so I'm like, yeah, you know, maybe there was.
What was it? History, you said?
Which
I rolled a 6 as well.
We're all like, yeah, eruption,
Oh, but
sure.
I rolled a 15.
Okay.
But you're sure that they have no idea what they're talking about. These people are tired.
Yeah.
You slept at the party,
Yeah.
they did not. You got good rest. Their brains are not working properly.
Can we say that we've been having this conversation as we walked to
Yeah.
the place?
The
The
tree.
tree.
Yeah, the tree.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
You're gonna have to bushwhack through there, so like there isn't like a nice clear path. So I'm gonna need a survival check
Oh,
at
no.
some point. But
Okay.
I can let you not have to do that right away if you want to keep the conversation going.
So
Do we pick up the flute on the floor? Is it just left there?
I did not.
I think that's up to you if you picked it up or not.
I'm gonna go pick it up as we're leaving.
I had a natural 1 for a total of 4.
That's good. So you're totally on board with this eruption thing. You're like, yeah.
No, that's my survival to get through to the.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Do you have advantage on your survival checks?
Do I? Oh, I
I
do.
thought-
Because I got the thing.
Yeah. But I was always surprised that Zip was the one who was leading the way.
I forgot all about it. Natural 20 for a total of 23.
Yeah, okay.
Wow, those two. And
2 extremes.
You're able to navigate your way pretty safely while people are talking.
Okay.
So I guess the plan is to hang around outside near the tree. Do you want to be like hidden in the trees? Do you want to just be hanging out around there? Like, how are you going to present yourselves?
Is there anybody there?
There's nobody there right now.
Okay. I mean, this probably would want to stay out of sight of the tree. So
Okay.
basically, be able to know if someone's coming there, but not actually be there.
So you guys are going to take a long time to set up a stealthy hiding space, so I'm not going to make you make a roll because you all have the time for somebody to run down and have a look and like, no, I can't see you. Can you see us now? A little more to the left. And so we'll pick it up from there next week. If you guys want to have another discussion, or if you want to, we can do that. But otherwise, we'll pick it up from where you see something interesting happening or the sunsets.
Yeah.
All right. So that's going to end our game tonight. Thank you so much for all of our listeners. Thank you very much to all of our drawers who joined in our adventure here tonight. There are some really great drawings. I really love all of you, the jam that you did of the characters at the very beginning with Isuriel and the corpse and the swell putting the hand on and Bug and all the people.
I loved all of the patients lined out
Yeah,
and under the blanket.
that was really, really nice.
Zip fighting with the lizard people. Yeah, it was really, you guys knocked it out of the park this week. Does anybody have a favorite thing they want to mention? I know I led off with that.
I was fully ready to throw down with the guards until I rolled a natural 20 on the wisdom.
Yeah, I thought it was quite uncharacteristic of Easperial to want to jump into a fight, but
Yeah, I was just like,
Or it
oh,
was like,
it's been interesting.
oh, I could just come back later a different way. Okay, yeah. I don't have to fight these people now.
for a second I was like, here we go, murdering again. But I'm glad it didn't come to that. Yeah,
It was a heavy episode,
it was.
Yeah.
stretching some role playing muscles that we're developing there. Yeah. If that's all you guys have, then let's do our outros. Boya.
Alright, I'm Boya. Thank you for watching. You can find my stuff at Boya Sun, just my name, I guess.
Haelon.
Thanks for watching, guys. I've been Caitlin. See you next week.
Priscilla.
Might not be Caitlin next week. Okay.
I'll always be Caitlin.
I'm Priscilla. You can find my stuff at onoflame on Twitter or priscillakim.com. And yeah, I'm an illustrator in the fantasy and tabletop space. So thanks for watching.
Matt.
Yeah, thanks for watching, guys. It's real fun. I hope it wasn't too heavy for you, but hey, you got to have a little bit of drama. Have some clouds so the sun can shine eventually, as the saying goes, or however it goes. Find me at all the things down there.
I'm Brian, and I'm going to share something here that I did this week that I liked that I wanted to share with you guys, which is I made a fun D&D shirt. I'm going to drop it in any second now. I made a dungeon dragon. So if you like dungeons and or
wow.
dragons,
Oh, nice.
it's
That's
a
cool.
That's so cool.
dragony dungeon, dungeony dragon, whatever you want to call it. But yeah, I've got that on my threadless shop if people like such things and are looking for holiday presents.
The treasure vault at the tail is really cute too.
Yeah, you got at the end of it, you've got to get something.
So you go in through the mouth, and then you get to the treasure that's over there.
A rainbow of monsters.
I mean, that's where you keep the booty.
Hey!
All right. Good night. See you next week.
That's our new outro. That's where you keep the booty, everybody.
In the tail.
We're changing our name, our group name.
Yeah. Instead of magical marker, magical booty.
Instead of March on. See the booty. Where is the booty?
It's like an MTV reality show. Something too.
Thanks, everyone.
Good night, everyone.
Night.
See you next week.
Good night.
Bye.
Bye bye.